This year, I have a child, second day of Rosh Hashanah, who 7:30 in the morning, he wants to go right off to shul. He got up quickly, he got dressed, but he put on the same shirt he had the day before. And of course that shirt, I say of course, because like every little boy, it was stained, it was dirty, it had splotches on it. Some of them that he himself did, some of them he didn't know how they got there. I look at him and I said, change the shirt. You want a new white, clean shirt? No, he didn't want to hear it, he didn't want to change. He runs out of the house. Now when he ran out of the house, he also didn't take any breakfast. He didn't eat anything. He just wanted to run away from the idea of changing the shirt. He gets the shul and he realizes, I'm really hungry. I hope that someone's gonna, like maybe someone will offer me a little waffle or something. He's sitting there. In the meantime, me, his mom, is at home and I'm preparing snacks to take to shul. And I'm getting snacks ready for my little ones. And of course, I'm gonna bring for this child who ran out of the house without changing his shirt. I'm gonna bring him a big bag because I know he didn't get anything of cookies and cakes and pretzels and all kinds of yummy treats. We arrive at shul. I give the bag to his little tiny sister and she goes and she gives him the bag. At that moment, he looks up. He says, I can't believe it, because he was hungry. And he's like, where am I gonna get some food from? And all of a sudden comes little sister with this big bag of food. This is actually what happens to us every single day. Every day Hashem says, come on, I want you to put on the biggest, best, beautiful white shirt that you can. I want you to be clean. Not for me, but for you. You look so much better in that shirt. You feel so much better. But what do? Oh, it's so hard to change. And I don't want to change. And we run out and we're hungry. And then we wake up and the next morning, there's the sun shining. And we're breathing air and we're living life. And every single day, Hashem, God is giving us His gifts. Every day He's saying to us, I love you. I love you no matter what. And then He comes and He says, but I want you to change the shirt. Why? Not for me, but for you, because you'll feel so much better, because you'll look so much better, because it's better for you. That's that concept of tshuva. That's Yom Kippur. It's a day when actually you walk around the streets, especially here in Jerusalem and Israel, everyone is wearing white. Why are we wearing white? It says that Shimon HaTzadik, the great Kohen Gadol, when he would go into the Beis Hamikdash, into the Holy Temple, and he would go into the Kodesh Kodeshim, the Holy of Holies rooms, there would be with him this like image of a man wrapped in white. What's this concept of being in white? What's wrapped in white? White is a color that reflects. It doesn't absorb, it actually reflects. Our job in life is to reflect. It's to shed light. It's to take the light from Hashem, from above, take all that light and just shine it, reflect it outwards. And the way that we even know that we have light is if we drape ourselves in light, if we surround ourselves with light, if we're constantly trying to change and become better and become more connected, more transparent, more connected to the source of all light. This is Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is it's the most opportune time where you're standing before Hashem. And all really a person has to do in that moment is with sincerity, call out to Hashem and say, I want your light. I want to shed this light. I want to be wrapped in the light of Hashem. I want to be white. I want to be totally a new and changed and fresh and beautiful person, which I am. This is Yom Kippur. It's the time to put on a new white shirt. There's a story that I want to tell you guys that I heard about a teacher. And this teacher, what happened? He wanted to say how he became a teacher, what inspired him to become a teacher. So he tells a story about when he was very young. He was very, very poor. He had no money. Basically, their family was very, a little bit of money, barely could strap up money for bread and water kind of situation. He comes to class one day, and there's a boy in his class who's much more wealthier, who's able to travel, and he has a beautiful new gold watch. Now this little boy is looking at the other boy, thinking, I don't even have money to eat. Hardly can my parents get me the bread that's needed for me to just sustain me. And this boy has this gold watch. He couldn't take it. He was boiling up inside. He was jealous. He felt life is so unfair. When it was recess time, he went into the other boy's bag and he took out the gold watch and he put it in his bag. The boys come back from recess, and what happens? The boy who had the gold watch opens up his bag and he sees the watch is gone and he starts to cry. Who took my gold watch? What's going on? Where's my gold watch? Someone stole my gold watch. Now the teacher at the time said, okay, I want everyone to turn around, close your eyes. Everyone go against the wall, turn around, close your eyes. So everyone went up to the wall, turned around and closed their eyes. And the teacher went bag by bag and he found the gold watch. And then he said, okay, everyone turn around, and he gave the gold watch to the rightful owner. The little boy who had taken the watch, his heart was pounding, he was sweating. He knew he was gonna be in so much trouble, not only he felt terrible, but he said, oh no, now I'm going to cause even more problems for my family. And he was in so much agony. And he's waiting for the teacher to scream and yell and punish him, and nothing happens. Instead, the teacher gets up and he says, look, I know that all of these kids in this classroom, I know that every single little boy in this classroom is a wonderful, good boy. And sometimes we have this inclination inside of us that gets the better of us and does an action that's not right. He says, but I know that every single one of you is good. And we just have to be careful of this inclination to want to do something or to feel the impulse to do something that isn't right. But you're all good boys. That's it. The boy wasn't called. He was waiting to be called by the principal, waiting for notes, waiting for something. Nothing happens. Years later, this boy became a teacher. And he said, I want to be that kind of teacher that believes in kids, that will see the goodness of them, that realizes there's a difference between an action and the essence of the person. And later, as he was much older, he went back to that original teacher and he says, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you, because of you, you inspired me to become a teacher. And the teacher says, why? I don't remember what's going on. And he says, the story, don't you remember about the watch? Da, da, da. And the teacher says, oh, he says, I didn't know it was you. And the boy says, what? He says, yeah, because I didn't myself want to see who took the watch. I closed my eyes as I was looking through the bag. I didn't want to see. I just wanted to know that it was a bad act and not label the boy as being a bad boy. He says, I didn't even know myself who took the watch. Why? This is such an important message. It's such an important message about how we label ourselves, how we label others. When we come to Yom Kippur, the only way that we can come and really stand before Hashem with happiness, because it says it's one of the happiest days of the year, and then yet we're also asking for forgiveness. Or a person comes to you and says, I truly am asking for forgiveness. I know what I did is wrong. I recognize it. I am making I'm stopping the act right now, and I will do better in the next time, and I'm telling you how I'm going to, my plan for action in the future. How can we forgive and how can we ask for forgiveness? By separating the act from the essence of the person. One thing is an act, the other thing is the essence of a person. So a person who truly comes and says, wait a minute, I'm stopping what I did wrong. I really acknowledge that it was bad. That act is not, it's beneath me, it's not becoming of me, and then I'm making steps to go forward in the future. This is the true way, a path of forgiving and of forgiveness. We separate, and it's really interesting because I heard in the name of right away, it's something fascinating about these two goats. That in the time of the temple, we would have these two goats. One was labeled the good goat, basically, and one was labeled the bad goat. And all the sins of Am Yisrael were put onto this, all the Averot were put onto the bad goat, who had a little string labeling him as the bad goat. These two goats looked exactly the same. What made the difference? It's just one was labeled the bad goat and one's labeled the good goat. We have all these labels in our lives, and right now is the time to take off all the labels, all the bad labels, all the things that are confining us, restricting us, to surround ourselves in light. Take the light in from Hashem and realize that my essence is pure and good, and it's time for me to take a step back and to change. I need to put on a new shirt, new day, new year, and go forward. And with that, I'm going to do our little meditation for Yom Kippur as we're praying for Yom Kippur. And I love it if we could just sort of right now close our eyes. We're going to take a deep breath, and with each breath, there's a sensation of breathing in light. It's the light from Hashem. It's the light of change. It's the light of hope. And as we exhale any darkness, any doubts. You take a deep breath in and think about one area in your life, one part of the body actually in your life, in your body, that you can actually use that body part to go forward, to make a change into good. So for example, if I really want to work on how I'm speaking this year, I really want to try to speak more positively, then I'm going to take a deep breath of light, and I'm going to actually breathe into my mouth. And as I exhale, I'm going to exhale any darkness from my mouth, any insecurities and doubts that I say, not speaking so nicely, I'm exhaling that out. And as I take a deep breath in, I can also breathe into my ears. I want to hear good things. I want to use my ears for goodness, and I want to breathe out any darkness from my ears. With my hands, with my feet, walking to do good deeds, with my hands, using them in ways that can help others. We're breathing in light from our whole entire body, from the top to the down, and we're exhaling out any darkness. We're separating the act from the person, from our beautiful, pure neshamas, our souls, which are white, and separating it from the darkness that's around us. The insecurities, the acts, it's only when we don't have clarity that leads us to doing things. It's when we're not taking responsibility, we make bad choices. But a person who can take responsibility, who has clarity, who seeks truth, who breathes in the light of Hashem, who could connect, that person is going to be on the way to change, going to be on the way to surrounding themselves with light, be on the way to doing good deeds. And when we exile out the darkness, the obscurity, the lack of clarity, the disconnect, we exhale out bad choices, we exhale out actually not taking responsibility. We're breathing in light, the whole entire body is surrounded with light, exhaling out darkness. You can drop your shoulders, you can open your hands. You can feel the breath going from your head all the way to your toes and relaxing each muscle from the toes all the way back up to your head. Gama Chatima Tova, Shana Tova.